Okay guys, in this video I will discuss about ARP attacks, how attacker perform, and I will show you how to prevent from these attacks. ARP stands for Address Resolution Protocol. It is a communication protocol that is one of the important network layer protocols in the OSI model and is used to determine a device's media access control or MAC address based on its IP address in order to communicate with other devices on the network. ARP is a protocol that enables network communications to reach a specific device on the network. ARP translates IP addresses to a MAC address and vice versa. Most commonly devices use ARP to contact the router or gateway that enables them to connect to the internet. Hosts maintain an ARP cache, a mapping table between IP addresses and MAC addresses, and use it to connect to destination on the network. If the host doesn't know the MAC address for a certain IP address, it sends out an ARP request packet asking other machines on the network for the matching MAC address. The ARP protocol was not designed for security, so it does not verify that a response to an ARP request really comes from an authorized party. It also lets hosts accept ARP responses even if they never send out a request. So this is a weak point in the ARP protocol, which opens the door to ARP spoofing attacks. ARP only works with 32-bit IP addresses in the older IPv4 standard. The newer IPv6 protocol uses a different protocol called Neighbor Discovery Protocol or NDP, which is secure and uses cryptographic keys to verify host identities. However, since most of the internet still uses the older IPv4 protocol, ARP remains in wide use. What is ARP spoofing attack? An ARP spoofing, also known as ARP poisoning, is a man in the middle that allows attackers to intercept communication between network devices to spread the malicious code of the malware and steal data such as passwords and pins stored in the system. The attacker must have access to the network. They scan the network to determine the IP addresses of at least two devices. The attacker uses a spoofing tool such as ARP spoof to send out forged ARP responses. For example, on Ethernet LANs, hosts are allowed to send an unsolicited address resolution protocol reply called a gratuitous ARP message. These ARP messages cause all other hosts on the LAN to store the MAC address and IP address in their ARP caches. The problem is that an attacker can send a gratuitous ARP message containing a spoofed MAC address to a switch, and the switch would update its MAC table accordingly. Therefore, any host can claim to be the owner of any IP and MAC address combination. For example, in this diagram, router 1 and PC 1 have removed the correct entry for each other's MAC address and replaced it with PC2's MAC address. The threat actor has poisoned the ARP caches of all devices on the subnet. ARP poisoning leads to various man-in-the-middle attacks, posing a serious security threat to the network. All traffic, router 1 and PC 1 both, will now flow through the attacker's machine instead of to each other. The attacker is now secretly in the middle of all communications and use ARP spoofing to alter or block all traffic between devices on the network. To prevent ARP spoofing and then ARP poisoning, a switch must ensure that only valid ARP requests and replies are relayed. Dynamic ARP inspection or DAI requires DHCP snooping and helps prevent ARP attacks by not ruling invalid or gratuitous ARP replies out to other ports in the same VLAN. Error disabling the interface if the configured DAI number of ARP packets is exceeded. To mitigate the chances of ARP spoofing and ARP poisoning, enable DHCP snooping globally. Also, enable DHCP snooping on selected VLANs. Enable DAI on selected VLANs. And also configure trusted interfaces for DHCP snooping and ARP inspection. In this diagram, switch 1 is connecting two users on VLAN 10. DAI is configured to mitigate against ARP spoofing and ARP poisoning attacks. Also, DHCP snooping is enabled because DAI requires the DHCP snooping binding table to operate. For DAI configuration in switch 1 in global config mode, enable DHCP snooping globally. IP DHCP snooping. Also enable DHCP snooping on selected VLANs. IP DHCP snooping VLAN 10. Enable DAI on selected VLANs. IP ARP inspection VLAN 10. Configure trusted interfaces for DHCP snooping and ARP inspection. Interface faster than 0/3. IP DHCP snooping trust. Also, IP ARP inspection trust. DAI can also be configured to check for both destination or source MAC address. DAI can also be configured to check for both destination or source MAC and IP addresses with the IP ARP inspection validate comment. IP ARP inspection valid source MAC address. IP ARP inspection valid destination MAC address, and IP ARP inspection validate IP. Show running config check the configuration, include validate. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel.